We are live for our 93rd ever episode of the Best Phone Plans podcast. Today, we're talking about Verizon's brand new 100 gigabyte free trial, US Mobile dropping some incredible new plans. The one that Dennis is most excited about, AT&T actually has C-band. They updated their coverage map, which we're going to dive into. And we've got an early look at some of the best Black Friday deals coming from your favorite carriers. Before we dive into all of this epicness, Dennis, my friend, how are you doing today?
Stetson, if you can't tell just by my facial expressions, I am super excited for this show. You didn't emphasize it, guys, but today is like Christmas came early in the mobile space. I want to really emphasize this here. Verizon free trial? What world are we living in? US Mobile, one of our top recommended prepaid carriers, coming out with even better plans? Was that possible? And then, of course, the goated AT&T finally showing their coverage prowess with their new coverage map. My friend, I'm fantastic. You should be the same. Let's get into the show.
I am fantastic. Dennis, what a killer intro. We're starting off very strong with I can't believe I'm saying this, a free trial from Verizon Wireless. Yes, you can try Verizon Wireless for free, and not only is it completely free, I would argue this is better than T-Mobile's free trial. Why is this? Well, what are you getting with this free trial, Dennis? You're getting, boom, you get to try Verizon's network for free for 30 days. It is a full month of service, completely free. You need an eSIM phone. You are getting, get ready for this, 100 gigabytes, not of deprioritized bottom of the barrel data, but 100 gigabytes of premium data. Okay? This is incredible. I wish Verizon offered this as like an affordable hotspot plan. Like, this is something people would pay for.
Stetson, I wish they just offered this as a plan in general. If Verizon came out tomorrow and offered this 100 gigabyte plan for 30 days for a reasonable price of, say, $50, I guarantee you it would sell like hotcakes. Screw the Verizon Unlimited, get started, basic, blah, 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 power saving deal. Sell this $50, single line. Guarantee everybody and their mother buys it.
It's so good. There are a few caveats, though. Number one, 480p streaming, but that's only on 5G nationwide. You're set. If you get 5G ultra wideband, which has been expanding rapidly, you're going to get 4K. No commitment, no credit check. I love this. Access to wireless service you'll never want to leave.
No, I have a big problem here.
Is it the 480p?
That's a big problem to me. At the very least, 720p. Give me 720p, Verizon. Make that what it is, because 480p sucks. And it's not because 480p's resolution sucks for anyone that's new to the show. That's not my problem that I have here on a phone. My problem that I have is the actual implementation or execution that the carriers use to get this resolution, which is essentially they will hard throttle your video to 1.5, however they often over provision slightly, to 2 megabits per second. The issue is, though, not all streaming platforms are optimized for this bit rate, and so it can sometimes break streaming platforms entirely. And a good example of this for any of my weebs out in the crowd would be Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll does not play nicely with a 2 megabit per second speed cap.
I agree, Dennis. And the big thing here, right? It's a free trial. Normally, I'd be like, all right, come on, Dennis, it's free. You can't really complain that much. But if Verizon is giving people the opportunity to try their network, wouldn't they want to give them the best experience possible? Not only that, it is clearly a 100 gigabyte free trial. I think if you're trying Verizon out, you should be able to use the 100 gigabytes however you want. If you want to plow through and stream 4K video and that's all you do, you should be able to do it. Verizon, to be fair, does limit all of their plans to 720p on 4G LTE and 5G nationwide. I think, Dennis, I'm with you. It should be at least 720p here. Ideally, no limit. But it is what it is. And I'm inferring premium data because Verizon says premium network experience. Of course, I'm not 100. I haven't been able to try this out yet, so we'll have to wait and see.
So here's a better question, real quick, Stetson. Right? Because I guarantee everyone and their mother is probably going to be reporting on this. In fact, if I Google search, I bet you there's probably 100 articles already talking about how Verizon just did this, right? But
Yeah.
that's not what makes our show entertaining. We need spicy takes. We need interesting concepts. So, Stetson, I want to hear from you, the optimist here. Why do you think Verizon decided to do this now of all times? What in the world would cause Verizon, the network king, to need a test drive?
I think there are a couple factors in my mind that caused this. Number one, Apple forcing everyone to eSIM. I think carriers were dragging their feet on eSIM, and now that it's here and it's obviously not going away, I think it finally clicked in the Verizon network head to be like, all right, how can we take advantage of this? I think a free trial is one of the best ways to do that. Number two, Verizon already launched their C-band network. They've been deploying it very quickly across the United States. We'll see how AT&T is deploying their network very soon with their updated coverage map. I think Verizon wants to give people the opportunity to try their network, to try and catch up to T-Mobile. T-Mobile had that 1 to 2 year 5G lead where AT&T and Verizon didn't have C-band. So now that C-band is here, I think it's time to test it out. And yeah, I think there's a concern that the perception of the Verizon wireless experience may have been on a downwards trend. The network may not have been as good in the 5G area. And Dennis, we can't forget, what was the only other way to try Verizon for free before this method existed?
US Mobile.
Okay, before US Mobile existed, it was a free trial. It was from Visible.
Oh.
Yeah, and you can probably guess how those experiences were going.
Yeah, so here's the hot take, the spicy
Here, hit me with
take.
the hot take, Dennis. What's the spicy take here?
I think the reason Verizon had to do this is because the perception of their network, as you touched on, is not just a downward spiral, it's became suspect. And that the reliability claims are no longer beginning to be believed in the average person's train of thought, right? All this 5G marketing here and there from T-Mobile, I think, is starting to really hit home. And I think Verizon's starting to feel the burn on that, compounded with the fact that in a lot of areas where Verizon does not have their 5G ultra wideband, they've been dealing with congestion issues, which even the average day Joe can feel the pain of if the speeds drop, I would say, below around 5 megabits per second or less.
Yeah, I actually have real world congestion experience now. This is something I was working on last week. Haven't published any results yet, still working on it, but I drove to the Costco parking lot this past Saturday at around 2 p.m., the busiest time according to Google Maps. I did a side-by-side test. Verizon 5G Get More, the most premium plan they offer, and Verizon 5G Start, of course, deprioritized. Now, I ran the tests at separate times, so each plan would get the best available performance on the network. Dennis, do you have a guess what the speeds were?
At Costco?
They were LTE, and I'll give you the 5G Get More plan, okay? Get More was hitting about 30 megabits per second on this connection. What do you think 5G Start?
Okay, you want me to guess DPRO?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess DPRO was getting 2.
It was like 1 megabit per second to 2 megabits per second. You were spot on. It was like a 30 times difference. It was insane. It was insane.
And to Sneed's point, I know you had a show, and I think I was even on this one with some data that was collected from surveys, but I don't think that the one-off surveys that are collected are necessarily representative of the overall whole. And I don't necessarily even think it has to be factual. I think it's the thought that this is the thought, right? Like, i.e., if in my friend circle, right, I'm the one that everyone trusts, and I'm saying Verizon's garbage residue, right? Then whether it's the truth or not, everyone in my friend circle thinks Verizon is garbage residue, right? And so now they're looking into switching to the recommendations that I'm making, which are AT&T, AT&T, and AT&T, right? Because in my eyes, in Pittsburgh, if you live in Pittsburgh, there's one carrier you should be picking if you want God-tier experience, and that's AT&T. Doesn't matter if it's the truth, but I've just convinced, say, 10 people in my friend circle. And now they might say something about it too when they switch to AT&T, because now when they switch, right, people tend to be a little bit more sensitive to both pricing, customer experience, the actual network performance. Like, oh yeah, I do have more bars here, when they might not be looking at their phone for these types of things, right? And they might share that news with someone else.
Exactly, exactly. I will say this is also the holiday season, the holiday time. A lot of people think about switching plans, switching providers, and I think the free trial is one way to get people to go over the edge to commit. Wow, we got a super chat from D's Nuts. Thank you very much for your kind support, D's Nuts. We should highlight this comment here on stream, Dennis. We got a nice squirrel picture. Obviously, still collecting nuts for the winter. D's Nuts in the house. Testing my Mobile X I got, and I will say it's trash. Oof. Compared to my Verizon postpaid line, but their customer care is on point. Only thing going for them. Great show. Thank you so much, D's Nuts. Yeah, I will say, I think I was tweeting out today, or maybe yesterday. I tried to actually purchase a plan on Mobile X, and the application was having problems. Thankfully, I got a call almost immediately after tweeting that image out from customer care, and they were on it. They were making sure my service was working, which it was. It was just more of like an app glitch. So I'm hoping the app and the experience can improve there. But yeah, I think I agree with customer care has been on point for me. So thank you, D's Nuts, for the kind support. And yeah, I think the issue right now is the ping.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just went ahead and highlight that. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, no. I don't know. Mobile X, it's a beta, right? Wouldn't keep that
It's a beta.
expectation.
If you want to try Verizon, though, this is it. Now's the time. This is literally the best trial ever. This is better than US Mobile's free trial. This is better than Visible's free trial. This is one of the best free trials out there. And I guess it's worth mentioning, you can get around the 480p streaming limit simply by using a VPN. Like, yeah, simple and easy.
Yeah, like I said though, man, if they raise that 40p to 720p and they just sold that as a plan, I legit would be like on that plan. Like that would be the plan for me, because I've talked about it on the show before, right? I've said, in a realistic world, right, if Dennis had his ideal dream, I would just buy some large quantity of data for a reasonable price and get to use it however I wanted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like how internationally it's done.
Yeah.
I do want to highlight a comment from Nox Tech HQ. Nox Tech signed up for the free trial, and the 480p streaming, he says, kills the experience. He was experiencing buffer on Twitter videos, watching YouTube videos, and probably other video content as well.
Reddit,
so yeah,
Reddit's a big offender of this as well. The Reddit media player freaking sucks and does not. Well, it does, Stetson.
Yeah.
The integrated Reddit media player freaking sucks and does not like to be video throttled. It's the truth, man. But wait, Sneed's questioning me. Hold up. So he said people don't switch because of 5G, Dennis. And top 10 reasons for choosing a carrier 5G is in the back half, either 7 or 8. Okay. And then 720 versus 1080p, that's the deal. That's the deal?
The deal breaker.
That's the deal breaker, seriously? It's 480p, Sneed. And it's 1.5 meg. And yes, for me personally, again, that's the beautiful thing about this show, right? For me personally, I've been very consistent about this gripe, regardless of plan, including from Cricket, who runs on AT&T, and others. I personally don't like video throttles. It breaks my Crunchyroll. I am weeaboo trash. I like my anime. Bleach 1,000-Year Arc is out right now on Hulu, and I want to enjoy that in the crispiest 1080p that mobile data can provide to me, because it doesn't matter if I'm getting 1,000 megabits per second if I am capped to 1.5 on video, which is the one time and use case where having all that bandwidth and speed is actually useful to me, because browsing some text-based website doesn't require a lot of bandwidth. But
interesting. We're gonna have to
stop the show for another super chat.
Stop the show for another super chat. This one saying, this is referring back to Mobile X, so thank you for the kind super chat. It failed activation on iOS, but great customer care. Got my second SIM working on Android. Their app can't even generate a number ID, use the address where I hide.
His nuts for the win.
Yeah. Thank you for the kind support. Yeah, I think I look, a side tangent for Mobile X. I think the concept I'm really into, right? I think their pay per use model is the best the industry has ever seen. I think the execution still needs work, but that's why they're still in beta, right? Like this hasn't officially launched. It's only a select few number of people are using it. And I think we're providing hopefully good feedback so the team can continue to grow and improve. But yeah, I also had some issues like my activation, it looked like it failed, and then my number actually did port. Yeah, when I was trying to sign up for an actual plan, that wasn't quite working. So I think there's areas that the team can improve, but I'm excited for the official launch. I don't know when it'll be, in like a couple months or whatever.
So, moving off this topic, let's actually talk about real things that I'm excited about.
This
which
one?
is from, I would call him, maybe, can we call him a friend?
Sure.
Ahmed, I hope you're okay with this. I'm calling you a friend of the show because you were on here 3 times, I believe, and we need to get you back on again, honestly, if you ever have time. US Mobile coming out with new plans.
New
Please,
plans.
Stetson, show them on the board.
Yeah. Sorry, the website. The website's loading the old plans. Oh, man.
Come on, Ahmed.
What is happening? I'm gonna pretend it's my cache. Let's see if I can make a new incognito. Well, we can do the old plans
Okay.
and see if we can show them side by side. Yeah, that is so weird. I was literally looking at the new plans today, and it's like everything was walked back. Well, thankfully I have them on the website. Shout out to bestphoneplans.net. So we can do a comparison here. We got old plans on the left. All right. You were previously looking at. Let's see if we can do this.
So just to clarify, from the 1 gig, so the 1 gig plan I thought was meh. So those first 2 plans, ignore. Everything after that is when US Mobile started getting attractive to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. Maybe I can do, if I go to my dashboard, just like trying to figure out ways to view my plan, change my plan.
It's funny because on my phone it shows the new plans, but on the desktop
Yeah,
side, it
like on the
doesn't.
website, I don't know. I was looking at, all right, we got it. So we're gonna hack by looking at my personal US Mobile account. These are the new plans. This is what we're looking at. All right, data bundles. We've got 500 megabytes with 2,000 minutes and 2,500 minutes and 2,500 texts for $5. This is a killer entry level plan. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
A steal.
That is a steal. Super, super good.
Like, legitimately, that plan right there in particular is the perfect plan for like a emergency kind of phone that you keep in like the glove box of your car if you like break down. I'm really, really happy to see that it includes some level of data because there are things that require having data connectivity to work, like iMessage, M&S, and blah blah blah. So having a little bit there is fantastic. And 2,500 minutes in text also perfect for like an emergency type of phone.
Huge amount of talk. Okay, I couldn't go through a fraction of that. It almost makes the unlimited talk and text plan look really bad to me. Like
it is really bad, especially when we compare it. God, I wanted to get off that topic, but if we look at Mobile X, right?
Yeah.
Mobile X charges what, like $5 for
it's $4.50 is what I saw in my account dashboard from the Mobile X plans video. Yeah, this is US Mobile is expensive. All right, this is expensive, and for $5, like Dennis, I don't think anyone is going to talk for more than 40 hours. Okay, that's how long 2,500 minutes is. 40 hours of nonstop
Stetson,
continuous talking.
I'd like to welcome you to my T-Mobile usage page.
Dennis, all right, maybe this plan is, maybe it's worth it for you if you just need a whole bunch of talk. Fine, but I think the use case for this plan is diminishing rapidly. Next up, the $12 plan. This doubled, went from 1 gig to 2 gigs,
which is reasonable.
This is, if I was in high school, like this would have been perfect. All right, I was a light user. This was absolutely perfect. $15 5 gig plan, exactly the same.
Totally fine.
$20 plan. This upgraded from 12 gigs to 15 gigs.
Which is very good. I think it's one of the very few on the market. And unlike, um,
Thinking of like Mint that does the bulk pricing, or
yeah, I mean, unlike Mint, it's not bulk, but I was gonna say unlike some of like the other fake plans that might be out there, this is uncapped, 15 gigs unadulterated. The only thing that's downside is I don't believe hotspot's included.
Hotspot is not included, Dennis, but we got some good news, which I'll
Oh,
touch on in a second. So 15 gigs for 20 bucks, $25 plan. This got a mighty nice upgrade. Went from 18 gigabytes to 25 gigabytes. Absolutely great plan. And Dennis, Hotspot went from a $5 add-on to a $2 add-on.
now that's Ahmed, sincerely, good job.
These are nice. Now,
Like,
taxes and fees, again, about $5 here in Colorado.
oh no.
So it's still coming out to $30.83.
So that 15 gig plan is probably like 25.
It's $19.91 for oh yeah. This the 15 gig one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 25.31.
Yeah, that
Throw the hotspot in there and you're at 27. It gets
okay,
up
that
there.
makes that less attractive real quick because at that point you're better off getting. Well, no, they don't have a tax. Dude, Ahmed, I wish you'd bring back taxes and fees included, man. Like,
It makes it
just
hard to compare. I was thinking
please.
about this, Dennis, and I've decided the best way to compare taxes and fees is to compare all plans as if you were purchasing them in one state. So for my resources, I could probably make it so I can compare everything here in Colorado, and then you would get basically, you'd be able to compare relative pricing because the taxes and fees vary by state. But if one plan is higher than another in Colorado, the probability that it's higher than in the other plan in all the other states is pretty high.
Yeah, but it's also hard to know too because like some companies that we've reviewed, right, have charged fees that don't exist at all or don't.
Yeah,
charge
like
at all.
Verizon's bogus, like the fee, the account, was it the admin fee? They increased it to $3.30.
Yeah, and like sometimes they don't charge it in certain states because like they're not allowed to. Or
That's weird. Well, I mean, I still think that'd be the way to do it. You do everything and you compare it in one state.
no,
And then you look at,
See, Stetson, no. The way to do it is to expect the companies that want our money to be transparent and include the taxes and fees
in the
very
prices.
upfront. And then just account for the difference in margin, right? Like I would rather you just say, right? Because we give praise to Visible, right? For this,
Yeah.
for doing this, right?
They do this.
I would rather you just say that $25 plan is $30 and call it a day. Even if I'm saving like 2 cents or something by you not including the tax and fees, I'd rather it just be that even number because there are a decent amount of people out there in the world, especially the ones that are budget conscientious, that are trying to stretch a dollar, right? They're trying to account for everything, and to have an unstable bill, right, because some tax or fee or something changes on the state level, people don't want to pay attention to that kind of stuff. Not for a basic thing like cell phone service. To me, cell phone service is so common now with all the MVNOs and postpaid offerings that are so good out there that it's a legitimate commodity.
Yeah.
And commodities deserve convenience. That's one of the ways you differentiate yourself. And a convenient thing you could do is make your billing simple and easy to understand. $30 is $30 is $30, period.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say, going from the 15 gig plan, $20 to $25, that is a hefty 25% increase in taxes and fees. 25%. Yeah, that's kind of nuts. Still, I still think it's a great value. I don't think you'll find anything better than this.
No. US Mobile, for what, since we started this show?
2 years?
Yeah.
2.5 years? Yeah.
Has always been our, like, I would say one of our top recommendations for getting a Verizon experience without going through Verizon.
Yep.
And that's one point where me and Stetson just agree wholeheartedly because their app is well fleshed out. The network experience is decent. We make jokes about Ahmed time when it comes to feature development.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that US Mobile is perfect. Like, I definitely do not recommend them for their T-Mobile access, like, to be clear.
Oh, it's so bad for T-Mobile.
And Ahmed, hopefully you're taking the punches, man. I know you could take the punches, but the Verizon access is great. If Verizon is good, you'll have a good time on US Mobile. Now, look, not a lot of people at least in our demographic, I don't think actually care about those pooled gigabyte plans. Let's talk about the updates to the unlimited.
There was a really good update to unlimited. It's unlimited all. It's unlimited basic that got the update, and I don't know if you can see it here. Two things changed. 40 gigabytes of 5G premium data. So this went from 30 gigabytes to 40 gigabytes of premium data. And you're now getting 5 gigs of hotspot data.
And that's the bigger thing for me. Like, Stetson, you've shown an appreciation and an understanding of why having a little bit of hotspot's nice, right?
It's really nice. It comes in handy in a pinch. You need to share data with your laptop. Hotel Wi-Fi is super slow. You just don't want to deal with it. You need to check your email. Yeah.
And then, of course, the unlimited premium, in my eyes, is still honestly one of probably the best premium offerings on the prepaid side for Verizon. Visible's obviously on paper better, like because it's true unlimited data.
Yeah.
But the hotspot's capped at 5 meg. And for me personally, I'd rather have the 50 gigs of very high speed because I'm not using hotspot that much. So when I am using it, I want it to be fast. Plus, going back to what I've said, I put a high value on good customer service and a great app experience.
So true. So true. We do got to give Visible credit, though. I want to mention them for two things. One, they're doing a Black Friday deal. You can now get the Visible Plus plan. Let's see. Is it deals? CR deals. Thought I had. Yep. You save $15 a month for 3 months on Visible Plus. All right. So that's pretty good. They got some other options. Pair of Beats Studio Buds, $250 virtual gift card with select device purchase. All right. They got deals. The bigger thing, Dennis, is they added two-factor authentication. It's rolling out.
They finally fixed one of my biggest gripes?
Yeah, they did. They did. Let me see if I can pull this up. I wasn't seeing an official video on it, so let's see.
Oh my god, I feel like my hands are gonna be like sore from clapping for everybody. Good job. What happened? Did they start listening to the show?
I hope so. I hope so.
Visible. Good on you. Adding two-factor. And also, while you're doing that, I'm just going to answer Chim's question real quick. Dennis, you know I didn't like Visible before the new plans because of deep routing and bad routing, but what do you say now about Visible Plus plans? I think I made a comment whenever Visible made the change and gave them the good job salute here, but I was very happy when they got off their weird own core implementation and just went Verizon. Like, it fixed so many issues for them. Visible Plus for me is decent. But for the same reason that I just gave flack to the 100 gig plan, it's still not a great fit for me personally because I value not being video throttled to 480p. It's the reason why I love my Magenta Max plan and now say that it's the best plan on the market to date for customers to purchase. And before that, it was AT&T Elite's plan. And I'm sure what I'm saying will become less of an issue when 5G ultra wideband becomes as ubiquitous as LTE access is today. But today is not that day, and I don't see that happening next year either. So in the meantime, I'm going to stick with what I've been saying, which is that not for me at the moment, but I can see the value and why people would want it. There's still other concerns, but it's a good plan.
I think Visible is probably one of the best options if you're looking for secondary network access. Like if you want to pair it with an AT&T plan, you can just, boom, you get eSIM, unlimited data on Visible. Or if you want to try out Verizon, it can be a great option. It really is affordable. And now it is getting multi-factor authentication. This is coming from Michael Saves. Runs an awesome website and YouTube channel, which you can check out. We'll throw it in the chat. But this is an update. Visible is adding multi-factor authentication. So you can, when you sign in to the website or the app, you'll get a text with a code to enter before accessing your account. It'll be rolling out from now through January 2023. So it's not an instant rollout, but it is coming soon.
I have a quick concern, though.
Yes.
Is this only SMS-based as an option?
It currently looks like it is only SMS-based as an option.
Boo. Visible, boo. You didn't learn. Give me time-based multi-factor authentication with like an over-the-top app like Google Authenticator.
Or even better, 1Password.
Yes, US Mobile does that, and it's 1,000 times more secure than SMS, which has already been proven to really not be that good.
I don't know if US Mobile does that. They do. I have to sign in. When I sign in, I have the option for either a text or I can do an email.
Okay, I'll take an email over. What I'm getting at is text is not that
text
great.
Text is so bad. It's so true.
I would rather have the email because my email could then be properly
Yeah,
secured.
you can properly secure the email, lock that down, and yeah,
I swear US Mobile had time based, but it's been so long, so maybe I'm wrong.
yeah. I think
I know
for me, it's
T-Mobile has time
they do it.
based. Yeah.
That's good. Except for the irony is I can't even sign into my
And also the irony that you could just bypass it by still using text because they leave that there as something you can't turn off.
yeah.
But you know,
Oh well.
it was
So
an attempt.
those were the two visible updates. Do you want to talk about something you're excited about, Dennis?
Absolutely. I want to be proven right. I want to be proven right, which
Boom.
is that AT&T is God in Pittsburgh. Can we get Pittsburgh up on the map?
Yep. So we're pulling it up. It looks like there's no coverage in Pittsburgh, Dennis.
You're funny.
No, I'm serious. Look, there's nothing there.
I know it's because you're on a Mac and it doesn't load instantly like it does on my PC. Come on, zoom in.
It's because the AT&T coverage map is so bad.
Nah, it's a Mac issue, bro. Mine loaded quick. All right. See all that delicious dark See all that delicious dark blue? That 5G plus? How I said it's literally everywhere in Pittsburgh? Look at that.
Dennis, you are absolutely correct. It is literally everywhere in Pittsburgh.
AT&T loves Pittsburgh. I'm convinced this is the Holy Land, okay? This is the like a pilgrimage that you take to enjoy the fruits of 5G goodness of AT&T. Everywhere it matters, and what's funny is I would love it if you'd pull up the T-Mobile coverage map and compare.
Oh, let me see if I can do
AT&T
that.
already has more 5G plus than T-Mobile's UC, and T-Mobile's been building that out here for over 3 years.
Sheesh. All right, we got T-Mobile, which will be faster, and they have a full screen option, which I love.
Yeah, I'm jealous of you in
So,
Longmont. You got great 5G over there in Longmont, but let's show Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Or not. We'll manually
And
zoom
I'm
in.
showing this coverage map because I feel like people think I exaggerate like how quick stuff happens in Pittsburgh with AT&T.
We have a lot of triangles here.
Yeah, give it a sec. Yeah, so you see that the coverage here. Is there a way that you can show both on the screen at the same time, or is that not really like a thing?
I can try my best. Here we go. We're going to do this, and then we'll do this. And what do you see? You see AT&T? Perfect. We're going to do... we're going to kill that. Share. Screen. Both side by side. Boom.
There we go.
I have to try and like scale it correctly now.
Yeah, T-Mobile's you got to use the little
There you go. I mean, I think you're right, Dennis. Maybe T-Mobile has it in some cities where it matters, but
some suburbs is the keyword. They have it in like random like maybe like a suburb or like maybe like a random spot, but overall if you look at it from like side by side, who looks more consistent that you're going to actually be on it more of the time?
definitely AT&T. That's for sure.
And remember, they've only been building it out for how long, Stetson?
Much less than T-Mobile.
Yeah. So T-Mobile, this is my call to you if anybody actually watches. For the love of God, can this market get some attention from you? I want T-Mobile to be like Longmont. I would love it if I could sing my praises about T-Mobile and wear the pink thong as some other people that feel like the joke, because I actually really love T-Mobile with the Max and think it's one of the best unlimited plans. I actually think N41, when you guys upgrade the backhaul, is fantastic and gives some of the best mid-band performance I've seen in places where it's developed and deployed correctly. Pittsburgh at the moment is not one of these cities. Please, please, please fix this. Anyway, AT&T, God tier. That's my proof. No one can fight me on it. Also, we should probably show Verizon.
Oh, yeah. For comparison, we actually have Trevor. This is kind of insane. Let's see if I can throw this up. This is an overlay of all of the 5G coverage.
Oh, by the way, I finally found a millimeter wave site for AT&T in Pittsburgh.
No way. This is it. But yeah, this is a coverage map with everything overlaid on top for mid-band 5G. So you can
There's no way
see
that's accurate.
it's you can't really zoom in because it's an image, but it looks like AT&T clearly dominating in Pittsburgh. T-Mobile is definitely more sporadic across the nation, but I think AT&T and Verizon, they're hitting like the big cities.
Dude, so here's the thing with deployments, right? Because I was talking to you about this privately, right? This is what I've noticed. The carriers seem to be taking interesting approaches with their deployment. AT&T is going from the center of cities and building out. Very old school approach, right? That seems to be their approach. Verizon doing something interesting, total opposite, building out from rural and suburban and building in to the
Yeah.
city.
This is
Which,
like, so this is Colorado for Verizon. Denver, the big city part, that's here.
yeah,
Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Not covered.
right,
And then kind of around Denver is covered.
right. So they're building out almost like a donut. And then T-Mobile seems to just be lighting up whichever cell site they can get their hands on with no real rhyme or reason or thought or consideration. Which, look, I get it. They want to get UC on everywhere as quickly as possible, and I respect that. But there is synergies to coordinating your cell site upgrades and deployments and taking into consideration downtime if it's the only serving cell in the area. Because, Stetson, I kid you not, I am not exaggerating when I say that with how T-Mobile's been doing things, there's been times due to maybe factors outside their control that a cell site will be down for months, like 3 months. And that cell site legitimately might have been the only cell site covering an area because they didn't have the density out in that circumstance. So they went from having, say, like band 2, band 12 coverage, right? Decent, to literally zero.
Yikes.
Not smart, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a network engineer. But that's just what I've noticed from my testing from the 3 carriers.
Oh my god. The actually never mind. I was trying out someone was suggesting the cricket coverage map and that's loading way faster for me, but it's not quite giving the 5G
Also,
UC.
AZ is touching on something that also needs to be addressed by T-Mobile. Yeah, UC calling or 5G calling in general on T-Mobile is hit or miss. And he says if he's expecting a call, he puts his phone in LT only. Can't blame you, AZ. Can't blame you. I do that honestly for all the carriers, to be honest with you, because 5G calling is hit or miss.
It really is. Yeah, we got some people saying Arizona lit up in dark blue. I wish this map was way better. If only there was a product that could do that.
It's almost like there's one being developed by a certain someone in the community. Maybe someone on this panel.
Someday,
Maybe
somewhere.
if you're a part of the hashtag Patreon / Stetson Doggett, you might be able to find out who's making it and what it looks like.
Yeah, we'll do a quick plug. Ready? I launched the website the other day, coveragemap.com. All right, you can check it out. Coverage like you've never seen it before. Check it out. Launching in beta, hopefully soonish, eventually. But I'm stoked on it. Anyway, yeah, it looks like Phoenix absolutely blanketed in dark blue. Very cool to see the build out. I do want to emphasize my problem though. We go to Colorado. Where's Colorado? It looks like a square. Is this Colorado? Yeah. We got nothing. Okay. Absolutely nothing. And not just because the map's not loading, but like there's nothing. We have one stadium. This is it. It's called Ball Arena. I walked all the way around the stadium and wasn't able to connect. I talked to one of the security guards and they were definitely not cool with having someone just walk in the stadium with no event for no reason. So I wasn't able to test it, but that's
Well,
it.
Stetson, you know how you can test it?
By buying a ticket to go into the arena.
No. Just go back out to Vegas for CES and test out the networks over there because all the networks in Vegas are deployed well.
Wow. Yeah, that's what happens when it's a flat desert. Let's see, is it blanketed?
It is.
It's
Whenever
so bad.
it loads.
Wow, there it is.
Look at that. One solid just glob.
Jeez. I'm curious how the performance is because when I was in Vegas, I don't know if you experienced this, Dennis. It felt like when I was on Verizon 5G ultra wideband, it felt like I was hopping from pocket to pocket. Like there'd be a pocket of 5G ultra wideband, I'd connect, and if I left, like the phone would disconnect.
So my experience in Vegas might be a little interesting considering that this is also, I believe, before the official like live of.
Oh yeah.
But this is my overall experience when I was in Vegas, okay? Basically, you had half of Vegas that was really good for Verizon, and it's very clear that Verizon, as an overall whole scope, is basically like the AT&T of Pittsburgh. Like, if you live in Vegas, you should have Verizon. T-Mobile, unlike what others have said, I actually had a tremendous experience in for like the other half where they were just kicking Verizon, like as far as speeds go. and they had decent coverage, but Verizon had more of it. And AT&T was performing really funny over there. Not actually all that great, or at least
Interesting.
not great for what I'm used to over in
Yeah,
the
from the
sweet land of
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh.
experience.
Um, Now I know for a fact that's probably changed, especially since that when I was there, like I said, we were like a couple days even before C-band launching, right? So there was probably work being done. But that was my experience while I was there. We'll find out here in January because, like, I'm going down to CES. So
Boom. Perfect. So you'll be there. We'll get Dennis on the floor. We don't care about the CES show. We care about 5G speeds in Las Vegas. That's awesome. We got Bor Grant A61103 saying if living in Vegas, you may need multiple carriers.
I think that's pronounced Bograda.
Okay,
Bograda.
that's way better. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Yeah. All right, that's AT&T coverage. Dennis, anything else you want to say about AT&T? I'm happy they updated their map. I'm honestly shocked they have so many cities now. When they first launched, they had 8 cities, and then they were pretty quiet about it. And now it seems like they have many more.
Dude, AT&T is like the sleeping giant, bro. They're silent and deadly, man. They've been on the grind, dude. I legitimately think, no joke, with the pace that AT&T is going for deployment, I don't think it's that hard of a stretch to say that they're going to catch up to Verizon and total pops covered.
We'll see. We'll have to see. It's a good race to be a part of. Look at that Salt Lake blanketed. Wow. Wow. Jeez. All right. We got a couple questions about the 100 gigabyte free trial for people who might be coming in late, so I'll just quickly pull that up, answer some questions. 100 gigabyte free trial is for Verizon. We didn't actually say how to get this free trial, and to get the free trial, you need to actually scan a special QR code to download a special Verizon app, and that app will have the free trial.
So is this invite only or something then?
I don't think you definitely need a specific link for it, and it's unclear to me exactly how to get that. But I think,
That's
yeah.
a little rough. Hopefully they just make it something that's easy to click on.
Yeah, unlike so T-Mobile, you just download the T-Mobile app, boom, free trials right there.
From the App
Verizon,
Store.
I know they're doing the like you have to scan something to get a free trial. But anyway, it's 100 gigs of data. I think it's premium data because it says Verizon's premium network experience, but that could be branding, marketing.
Probably branding, marketing. We'll have to test.
Well, yeah, we'll have to test.
Because remember T-Mobile's Essentials. Remember T-Mobile Essentials.
So, oh my God, I don't
Premium.
want to talk about that one.
They said premium data 50 gigs, and it was deprioritized.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's on a support page. Backbeat 3 saying the link. And anyway, that's it. It's a free trial, 100 gigs free, 30 days on the Verizon network, 480p streaming. They don't mention anything about hotspot support, so that'd be something I'd be interested in testing. And hopefully I can get more information for you soon. This would actually be pretty easy to make in terms of video content. But there it is. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Here's the QR code. Ready? Bam. That's it. You got to scan this. I'll make it really big. You can scan it live on the show right now to try Verizon for free.
Is it not one-time use? It's just a blanketed code that works for anyone that scans it?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Well, it's I think it's a link. It's a link to an app.
Right, but I'm saying, like, if they're going to make it that way, like, why not just make it more prominent?
Like a link? Or like actually make it, where'd it go?
Like a literal button on the website that says, hey, we have a, like, you know those little banners you see when you load up T-Mobile and stuff? Like, hey, you want to test out our network?
Yeah.
Sonny, here, press this button. Boom, App Store, download, done.
Yeah. Start free trial. It looks like it's a link that opens up the Verizon app. Yeah, should be good. I'll give this a whirl tomorrow. And there you go. Boom. That's a Verizon free trial. What else we got on the docket? I had only a couple other things to mention. One was Mint Mobile's doing their Black Friday deal. This is the best deal of the year for Mint.
Oh, I took advantage of this last year.
Yeah, if you're thinking of trying Mint, now's the time to sign up. Now that I'm no longer a customer, I probably will take advantage of this so I can use their service, make some videos on it and such. But
And
you
then
buy 3 months.
get your referrals back.
Yeah, try and regain my referral credit. But they're
Hey
doing
Stetson, since we're on this topic, man, will you please just go back to using Min, man? Make that your primary. Just do that, bro.
well,
You
I think
had great T-Mobile.
I'm committed to Mobile X right now, is what support has told me. So we'll let you know what happens.
Yeah, but I'm saying like instead of you going on this like you because you're porting your number out to every carrier you want to test, right? Based off
That's
like
correct.
the
Yeah,
chat says.
I
And
think it's worth it.
I'm saying I'm not saying you should leave Mobile X. Like if you want to keep a Mobile X line, fine, whatever. But I'm saying like, can you just put your primary line, your main line, right? The one that's actually important, just on Mint, where like you actually have great T-Mobile coverage because anytime you're picking a Verizon-based carrier in Longmont, it's gonna be rough because Longmont doesn't have great Verizon coverage, nor does it have good AT&T coverage. I know, I was there. I know
It's
that
true.
T-Mobile is the best there. You have literally service everywhere you go in that area, so it makes sense for you to stay on a provider that offers T-Mobile service.
Dennis, you might be right. I might put my main number back and like get another number to test out carriers, but we'll see what happens. I'm a wild animal when it comes to porting my phone number.
I mean, I know you like your T-Mobile get started whatever plan, base
My
essentials
essentials, yeah.
with its FaceTime that literally even your parents could tell.
Yeah, anytime I FaceTime my parents are like, "What is happening with your connection? The FaceTime call is so bad." And then it would like freeze and become all blocky and I'm like, "All right, I got to go on Wi-Fi." Um
But joking aside, was there any other topics that we had for tonight?
those are the big ones. We covered a lot, Dennis. Updated coverage map, we
Man,
had
that's
new
too
US mobile
speedy.
plans.
That's too
Um
speedy. That's too speedy.
well, I mean, should we hit the audience? What are people wondering about? Should we do like stick or switch?
I think just general Q&A, man. Like
Yeah, general Q&A, open it up.
yeah, like we do Q&A on the after show all the time, but like we haven't done one on like the public forum in a
So
while.
I'm gonna go to the very beginning and see if I can find some questions. Um, how these compare? I think I should do a video
I got a
on.
great question for you, Stetson.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Is there a place that you've been so far in the country where all carriers just absolutely just disappointed you? Like you were expecting there to be something and just were just
Yeah,
disappointed.
my home in Acton, Massachusetts. It's got like nothing. It's so bad. Okay, get this, Dennis. AT&T's 5G coverage map. I'm on like what the house is on one street. On the map, 5G coverage hits the end of the other street, like right next to ours, and then stops. We don't get it. Um, does
Here's
US Mobile have HD on the 25 gig plan? US Mobile provides the same video streaming that Verizon does. So all video streaming on 5G nationwide and LTE is going to be at 4 megabits per second. From my testing, that's enough for 1080p on YouTube, 720p for a lot of other platforms. Crunchyroll is probably enough for like 1 frame per second.
let's rephrase this. Generally speaking, it is common. I don't care what you got, Stetson. I'm sorry. Generally speaking, it's standard practice and based off of various streaming platforms. 4 megabits per second gets you 720p HD for most platforms.
Yeah.
YouTube, you getting 1080p is not because YouTube likes 4 megabits per second, but it's probably doing some shenanigans with the compression to deliver some like upscaled, interesting post-processed image that looks like HD, shows you HD, but really it's 720p in the background. So let's just say 4 meg, 720p, 8 meg, 1080p, 25 meg, 4K. Can we agree on
Okay.
that?
I mean, look, that is just try changing the settings is what I'll say.
I have. You'll buffer.
Not that much. Not that much. Oh, Baby Yoda, great question. Don't forget to hit that like button. I have not hit the like button, so I'm gonna go do that right now.
Oh snap! I forgot to hit it
Boom.
too.
I hit the like button. I like the animation. It gives you a nice little thumbs up animation. All right. We
Oh,
got a
Bone
sticker
Daddy.
switch.
Yeah.
8 voice lines on T-Mobile Simple Choice North America, upgraded from 6 gig to unlimited, and 6 gig hotspot line for 114 with tax.
Why would you ever leave that?
Yeah, Bone Daddy 0755. I think you should stick. You're looking at, what is that? 114, $114 divided by 8, $14.25 a line. Are you kidding me? That is so good. That's
I
less than
mean,
Mint Mobile.
look, the only reason why you would leave that is because I think when T-Mobile did the free upgrade to unlimited, they put you on a D-Prio plan, if I remember right, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that was the
I
case. I
I
think
don't
they
know if
put.
it.
I'm Stetson. I'm pretty sure they put them on essentials.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't know how much like premium data really matters on T-Mobile right now.
But that's not
So
the. I mean, that's not the point though. I'm saying he went from being on like an actual plan where you could use his data however you wanted to essentials.
I'm okay with that. He was on a 6 gig plan. Like
I mean, I guess it works out.
like yeah, and I think the price is great. Bone Daddy stick. Oh, QCI 6. Boom, you're on. You're getting priority. So, um,
Wait a minute. QCI 6.
that's priority on T-Mobile.
I thought isn't it QCI 7 and QCI 8? What's QCI 6?
QCI 6 is priority data on T-Mobile.
Well, then what's QCI 7?
QCI 7 is deprioritized on T-Mobile level 1. QCI 8 is hotspot data on T-Mobile. And QCI 9 is heavy data user deprioritized, or like deprioritized 2. Also home
QCI
internet.
8 is priority on AT&T though, right?
QCI 8 is priority on Verizon. Verizon just uses 8 and 9.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. We've got a good article on the website if you guys want to learn more.
You have to refresh me. We only talk about priority on Verizon so much that I don't think about T-Mobile, but okay.
Yeah. I guess
Anyway,
important to mention, Verizon Test Drive is a beta program. So
oh no, that's scary. That means it's probably gonna go away.
we'll see what happens. And then Eduardo is coming in with a really good Costco deal. So if you're a Costco member, they're running promos on the Galaxy S22 series for all 3 carriers. Geez, from $280 to all the way up to $450 in instant savings, which is spectacular.
If I didn't already have 2 S22 Ultras.
I've got 3
4.
S22 Pluses.
I thought you bought 4.
I have 3 S22 Pluses and 1 S22 Ultra. My plan is to sell the Ultra, though. I'm not using it and haven't used it in a while. So
yeah, but you need 4 S22s.
no, I don't. No,
Yes,
I
you
need
do.
I can get
Stetson,
away with 3.
hear me out. Hear me out.
What could I possibly need?
The reason I told you the magic number of 4 is so that you could test the 3 retails in simultaneousness for a given area versus the targeted MVNO or prepaid company that you're trying to compare against, or so you can test multiple different prepaid MVNO options against each other. So maybe it's like a Xfinity versus Mobile X versus Visible Plus versus US Mobile, Verizon speed test in a targeted area. Having those 4 is good for you.
All right, I'll think about it. I'll still probably sell the Ultra and
Stetson,
get a
you'll try to
22
sell
Plus.
the Ultra and you'll get given like a dollar coupon for like a free Arizona iced tea and like maybe like a couple pennies for the phone because the value dropped that much. You're better off just holding on to it and using it as a trade-in towards your next device whenever those come out.
Ooh, practical engineer with a great question. Would you suggest US Mobile $15 plan, which would come out to closer to $20 after all taxes and fees, or would you suggest going with Mobile X and their adjustable plan for around $15? Practical engineer, as a active beta user of Mobile X, I would say they are not ready for prime time. I love what they're doing. They're not ready for prime time. 100% go with US Mobile. There is no question.
Yeah, so for me, the question is, what's the pricing look like? And I think the answer is that they're about the same anyway. And then at that point, I'm looking at overall experience and stability. And to me, it's a no-brainer. US Mobile has established and proved themselves that I can trust them to like keep my number. They got the 2-factor authentication on there, like lots of good stuff, right? Things that Dennis likes, right? US Mobile all day. Do I think Mobile X would be cool for like things like the 4K video and stuff like that? Because I know they don't cap video. Like, sure. But like if I'm super budget conscientious and I only have like 4 gigs to play with anyway, now things like 4K video don't matter if I only have 4 gigs to play with, right? So I gotta be like reasonable with myself here.
I think the other thing too is we don't know how the plan renewal system works with Mobile X. Like I tried signing up, it didn't work. I think they're like providing beta testers with just free service to test out. But we don't know exactly how the rollover is going to work. If you pay for too much data, are you getting that data as a rollover? Are you getting account credit in terms of dollars so your next monthly bill is a little bit less? Are they, like, what happens if you need more data? Are they auto billing you? Are they shutting data off? Are there options to control that? We don't know right now. I would go US Mobile. I think they have a better product.
Yeah, and like obviously these are things that are subject to change. There's just too much not known.
Yeah,
Right?
you're asking about a beta product that for most people isn't really an option versus like US Mobile, which has been around since like 2014, I think.
Like look. Let's just set the stage right for people, right? Like it's exciting that we got a new provider, right? But we always gotta look at things with the correct lens. Mobile X is like the fun toy that you play around with to tinker. It's like a Raspberry Pi, right? You're not going out to buy a Raspberry Pi to make it your personal workstation. You're going out to make that like your little thing that you're going to toy with, play with some concepts and ideas. That's what a Raspberry Pi is for. In the same vein, Mobile X is like the tinkerer of the MVNO space. Like they're throwing ideas at the wall to see what sticks. They're experimenting with different things that are somewhat unique in certain ways, like the real-time data usage tracking, which for a niche audience, I feel like is really important to them, especially if your pricing is built on this like real-time concept. Is that super important and valuable for someone like me? Not particularly, because I'm not really and to Stetson's dismay, I'm not really a budget conscientious consumer. That's just not my style, right? Like that product is never going to be tinkered to me for that particular use case because I rather just buy the premium unlimited plan or drop the 8K on a crazy computer and get the thing that I want at the time that I want it. Like that's my style, right? But for someone else out there who's really living on a tight budget, really being frugal, right? Maybe Mobile X makes sense. Like the $4.50 plan for unlimited calling and texting, that's insane. That's freaking awesome. Probably the best calling and texting plan out there, and it's on the Verizon network, which, despite my qualms with Verizon as a company, they do have some of the best calling, I would say, out of the wireless carriers. And the data usage makes sense if you are someone that has very variable
low
uses.
Yeah,
no,
I would say like
no, variable is the keyword because it doesn't always have to be low. Because like IE, for example, okay, and I'm kind of pissed that T-Mobile took this away, which happened because of the whole OnePlus thing. But T-Mobile used to do a kickback thing, right? Remember the $5 discount if you use less than 2 gigs?
Yeah.
I love that because it made me stay on Wi-Fi, and there was plenty of months where I didn't use 2 gigs of data even because I was always on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Mobile X kind of plays into this, but in even a smarter way, right? So like if you're someone that's like always at home, right, because you're working from home, you literally might have literal months where you're not using any data at all, and you're just paying like say like the $5 for unlimited calling and texting, and you're saving massive money. And all of that money that you just banked up and saved, maybe when it's time to do a nice little holiday or something, you know, down to the freaking insert vacation location within the U.S. at the current moment, and if they ever add international roaming in the future. Now you can splurge and spend like the 50, 60, 70, $100 that 1 month, whatever it is. But when you look at the overall year breakdown, it's not that bad. And you got the data when you needed it. Because a lot of plans, you know, it's either use it or lose it, which kind of sucks. In this instance, you know, if you know you're going to be doing a big vacation, that's when you're going to need all the data anyway because you're dealing with crappy hotel Wi-Fi or something. Now you got it when you want it and you're paying when you need it. So that's like the niche in my eyes. But again, it's not fleshed out. We don't really know what their data usage policy is. You know, based off some of the Twitter posts, it doesn't seem like they want to use it. It's going to use 60 gigs, even if they're willing to pay. You know, it does. You know, we get that kind of messaging from Peter Ray, like he talks about. It's not profitable for MVNOs, right?
Yeah.
So they got to figure out what's going on there. They got to figure out tons of stuff. There's still features that aren't implemented, like or fully fleshed out yet, and right now, it's just like this little fun thing that you tinker with because you're kind of a nerd in the community. You give a little bit of feedback. You know, you're just kind of playing with it, right? I would never, in the current stage, recommend it to be your like primary. More like
Which is what I did.
Well, I also didn't
I'm getting the full experience, you guys.
Again, to my consistent credit, if you watch the show, I also didn't recommend that you went to Visible. I didn't recommend that you go to T-Mobile Essentials. I've told you no every single time along the way and continue to tell no and encourage you to go back to either Mint or be on Magenta Max.
I love it, Dennis.
But anyway, too long ramble. US Mobile for now. use mobile apps as like a fun little try thing. If it works for you, fine, I guess, but like I have more confidence in the well-developed app, the full-on edition. Like US Mobile just had years to refine everything. They're
Yeah, yeah.
refined.
And Flash is saying problem with US Mobile, they don't have rollover data. And yeah, and that's okay. Like their plans are still a great value, and they're not going to be the cheapest, but they are going to be a great value, great experience on the Verizon network. Would you recommend AT&T or US Mobile? From Rossi's Family Media. Question would be AT&T postpaid or prepaid? If it's AT&T postpaid, like it kind of depends on your use case and your needs. I'm a big fan of the US Mobile Family Plan because they include up to 2 free perks of your choice with 4 lines. And it's got great features and great experience. But if you like to finance phones, you're looking for those kinds of deals, that's when I would consider AT&T. We had another question about US Mobile. Yes, Noxtech HQ 5G ultra wideband usage on US Mobile does count against the 100 gigabyte limit. Okay, so you got to be careful with that. This is not the case on Visible and stuff.
I see a great question I want to answer. Visible $30 plan has been horrible for me with multiple issues where I wasn't able to connect the data for hours.
Oof.
What would you recommend I switch to? I need hotspot and about 20 gigs. US Mobile Premium plan.
Yep. That's
Easy.
it. The $25 plan they just launched. $25 for 25 gigs might actually work.
He needs 20 gigs of hotspot, he said.
Yeah, well, if you pay $2, then you get all 20 gigs available as hotspot.
Is that how that works? I thought it was capped. I thought it was 5 gigs of hotspot, and then 50 gigs comes with the.
No. Check it out. This one, bloom, show on stream. If you do a data bundle, this is what I'm thinking. You can do. It sounds like 20. I'm interpreting this as 20 gigs usage total. You can do the $25 plan with 25 gigs. You can add on hotspot usage. You're looking at $32.83 for a plan that meets your needs. That's pretty good.
Oh, I misunderstood it. I was reading it like you need unlimited plus 20 gigs of hotspot.
Yeah, if that's the case, then Dennis, you're right. You go unlimited all and you go unlimited premium, and this has like you'll be set for everything. 100 gigs premium data, 50 gigs hotspot. That'd be the move.
So. Yeah, and if not, and it's what Stetson said, then yes, Stetson makes more sense. That keeps you within the price sphere of where you were at.
Pixel Watch thoughts. Haven't really been using it. I would refer to other people on that. I mean, it seems really fun and really nice, and I kind of like what they're doing. I think the integration with Fitbit is a little confusing because you have like Google Fit, but now you also have Fitbit. You have to pay the $10 premium for Fitbit, but it's a super light watch, very comfortable, and I'm a fan of the design. So I have a friend who got one and absolutely loves it.
Channel 808 Life, I would love to hear more. Personally, I mean, granted, I don't interact with them that much because I don't actually keep them as like a primary thing. But when I did, they were good. Like I poured out.
Yeah, I chat with US Mobile support. I would say on like a weekly basis. I just hit them up, see what's going on now. I also have had very good experiences with US Mobile support. So I'm sorry if your experience wasn't great. But
I mean, look, I'm gonna
happens.
go back to an old adage that I've also always said, which Stetson. Let's see how well you know Dennis. What is Dennis about to say? What's his old adage when it comes to support from any company?
Let's see. If I was Dennis and I was giving an old adage, I mean,
I've said this like I've probably said this across every episode.
I just keep remembering your Verizon terrible customer service experience.
All right. So the answer is, for anyone that wasn't aware, is the best customer support is when I don't have to contact customer support. Give me the tools and the means to do it myself. That way, if I want to do it in my PJs at 2 a.m. while I'm crying into a bowl of vanilla ice cream, I can do so.
The optimal support experience right there.
I was making a little bit of a joke, but the point being is I like self-help options. I like it when whatever the carriage you could do, I can do myself, as long as it's not something that's like so complicated or whatever. Like, just let me do it. Also, honestly, I think there's only like 10 US Mobile support care reps.
Oh, no, they have way more than that.
Is it really? Because it doesn't
Yeah,
feel like
they've got like a whole team in Pakistan.
That's a new one. I'm used to, okay.
Yeah. No, they're super nice. I really like them.
Yeah, no, they're cool. I feel like I've always talked when I did talk to them. I feel like I always got like the same couple guys.
I've got a good. You're not talking to him as much as I am.
True.
This is what happens when you have a line of service active for a year. All right, we're over the hour mark, and we got to do our after show where we talk to Patreon members and chit chat it up with them. So I think we might head off and do that. But before we do, I'm so stoked on this coverage map thing. I gotta give a quick public tease, ladies and gentlemen. We're building a coverage map. This is going to be awesome. Specifically, Trevor is building a coverage map. Yeah, this thing rocks, okay? So if you're a Patreon member, you have access to the beta right now as we're building it out. If you're not on the beta, consider going to the website coveragemap.com and get on the email list, and we might be able to add some more people soon as we're testing this out. But it's really, really slick. You can find hexagons, compare coverage. It's awesome. So there you go, coveragemap.com. I'll throw the link in the chat right now for this epic new project. So
Wait,
go
can
check it out.
anybody access it in that data?
Beta users are able to add data. And yeah, that's it for now. I think if you're part of the Patreon community, you've kind of been part of the past few live streams where we've been talking about it, hyping it up, and getting some feedback. So you have access. And for now, I think we're still working on refining and polishing it to make it the best it can be. But I'm super stoked.
Also, on a quick side note, can we address? I know we were going to end the show, but can I just address Chanel's response real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I asked about why, he had the bad experience, right? He responded. He said they emailed him, and I provided information to authenticate himself via email, and they refused to help him with a problem, even after proving who he was and was done. I hear this, and part of me is actually, I don't want to say happy that they didn't help you in this circumstance, but I'm happy that they weren't doing support via email to some extent, because to me, my valuing of security, especially with my mobile phone number, which is like our digital identity, right? Email isn't very secure. Like when it comes to support, right? I'd rather there be the requirement of like verification through the app. Like one thing I really like, I give Verizon a lot of flack, but one thing I do like that Verizon does is whenever account changes need to be made on your account, you get like an in-app notification that has to be approved, right?
Yeah.
Like as an authorized device. Like it's typically not just like a text. Like there's actually like a thing you have to like actually sign off on in the app. I know this because I helped out my buddy who was getting the Verizon fixed wireless product, and I remember we had to like call his mom to go into the app and press the button.
Yeah,
like,
to get the button. Yeah, I've had to do that so many times.
So
too.
like it's inconvenient, it's annoying, and it sucks, but it adds an extra layer of security, and I'm someone that appreciates the extra layer of security. Now, should US Mobile think of ways to like, maybe, I don't know, clarify this? Probably. In fact, like it showed here, it could lead to bad experiences. But I don't depending on their rationale or depending on the reason for it, I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing in the world. Because emails are very easy to fake, right? Like there's tools out there where I can easily pretend to be Stetson in his email if I know it.
It's true.
In fact, I remember when I worked for a previous employer, we used to have like phishing attempts where they would literally do that exact thing. They would pretend to be someone within the organization sending out an email. You would click on the link, and then you would get like a message saying like this was a phishing attempt, just because it comes from blah 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 blah, and then it shows like things you should be looking out for, etc. Anyway, long show. Time for the after show. Give us like 5 minutes, and we'll be doing our normal after hour things.
Yeah,
we'll talk about whatever.
We'll be chit-chatting. It's awesome. Always love hanging out with Patreon members. Look for a link in the chat in the Discord and on Patreon, and it'll be awesome. So there you go. Thank you all so much for joining us for this epic podcast, Verizon Test Drive. Dennis, are you going to test it out? I know you already have.
I already have Verizon Retail.
Okay. Anyway, thank you all.
I got Get More. I got enterprise plans. I got prepaid plans. What else do you need me to have for Verizon?
Dude, you don't have US Mobile. What's going on, Dennis? We got to fix that. All right. Thank you all so much for joining. Make sure to hit that like button below. We really appreciate it. And we'll see everyone for the after show. Peace.